Hello everyone, welcome to Anime No Me, and thank you for joining us for another One Piece video. As a manga is adapted into an anime, especially one like One Piece, certain things in relation to scenes or even colors might change, and this is a process that's completely normal, and it may bring a better aspect to certain events, or it might even bring greater depth to a scene that the original author wasn't able to bring into a weekly shonen manga. An excellent example of this is the case of Zoro's Haki coloring, and this constantly changed throughout the course of various arcs. And in this current Wano arc, happening in the anime, we've witnessed a very specific scene of Zoro's Haki turning completely golden, and this is making fans wonder why the colors have been changed. So today's video, we're going to talk about the reasons why the colors of certain elements are constantly changed within the One Piece anime, and what that golden Haki that Zoro presented during his confrontation against Kaido could actually represent. But before we dive into the video, if you're new to the channel, or even if you've watched a bunch of our videos, we'd be absolutely honored if you'd leave us a like, and even subscribe, and maybe leave us a comment letting us know what you thought of the video. It really helps us out, especially with that old YouTube algorithm, and it keeps motivating us to make more content. And if you'd like to help out the channel in a bigger way, consider sharing this video or another one of your favorites with a friend. But without further ado, let's get into the video. So my friends, in the One Piece universe, Haki is a form of spiritual power that some individuals possess, and it's divided into three main categories, namely observation, armament, and the rarest of the three, Conquerors Haki. Observation Haki allows users to have a heightened awareness of the world around them. They can anticipate movements and attacks even if they can't see them directly, and this form of Haki is often used to avoid surprise attacks and even detect the presence of others, even if they're hidden or very far away. Armament Haki strengthens the user's physical strength as well as their defense. They are able to harden their skin and their attacks and even extend it to their weapons, and this allows them to attack Logia power users who usually possess the ability to transform into natural elements such as fire or smoke, which allows them to be intangible. However, Armament Haki can be used to increase the power of physical blows and actually make contact with these otherwise intangible beings, and this makes the attacks all the more devastating. Lastly, Conquerors Haki is the rarest and most powerful form of Haki. Now, it's the manifestation of the user's will that can end up influencing others around them, and this is something that one cannot learn but has to be born with, because users of Conquerors Haki possess a natural charisma and commanding presence, and they're capable of overthrowing and even subduing weaker individuals with their simple force of will alone. Within the One Piece anime, when characters use Haki, there are common visual effects that are added to represent its manifestation. Now, although there's no specific color associated with any brand of Haki, on some occasions the color purple or red is used to highlight the intensity of these visual effects. Many times when users have used Conquerors Haki, it's represented as black lightning bolts outlined in red, and it always represents the use of Conquerors Haki within the anime. Meanwhile, darker purple colors are often used in large instances when people are using their armament Haki, and it might possibly been chosen by the animation team as a way to symbolize the intensity of the spiritual power of this very type of Haki. Now, although sometimes it can have other colors, as in the case of Luffy that changes between purple, red, white, and even all black, it sometimes can make it difficult to understand the reasons for this constant change of colors. This vibrant color can often convey the idea of focused energy and imbued with determination. And in the case of Zoro, who is a very powerful and determined swordsman, the color purple can be used to represent his willpower as well as his ability to use his mastery of Haki. However, it's important to note that the colors associated with the various types of Haki can actually change in different adaptations of the anime, and it's also up to the individual interpretation. Furthermore, the choice of purple color might just be an artistic decision to create an impressive visual effect or contrast, and not a fixed or official representation of Zoro's Haki. So in summary, while Zoro's Haki is not exclusively associated with the color purple, this color could be used as a visual representation of the spiritual power and intensity of his Haki. So it's just a simple way to demonstrate that he's using his Haki at certain times. Now, during the Wano arc of One Piece, a change in the visual representation of Zoro's Haki was observed, and it acquired a green color. And this color change could have several symbolic meanings and even possible interpretations. One possibility is that the color green is often associated with a state of growth or renewal. And during the Wano arc, Zoro faces significant challenges and undergoes intense training to hone his skills. And the green color could represent that character's maturation and even his evolution as a swordsman. Furthermore, the green color could also be related to the spiritual aspect of Haki, because Haki, as mentioned earlier, is a form of spiritual power, and the green color is often associated with nature as well as life energy. This color could even symbolize Zoro's deep connection to his sword and the force of nature, as well as representing his resilience and vitality as a warrior, representing that the swordsman is extremely powerful. Another possible interpretation is that the change to the green color could be related to an increase in the intensity and potency of Zoro's Haki. Now, during the Wano arc, Zoro has faced many powerful opponents and needs to unleash his full potential to overcome them, especially King. This green color could be unique and a visual representation of this maximum release of his spiritual energy and power, where he's giving his all to be able to extract every single bit of his full potential of Haki so that he can defeat these very powerful opponents. Again, it's important to keep in mind that the colors used to represent Haki may vary in different adaptations of the anime and might even be subjective interpretations. So choosing the color green for Zoro's Haki could be an artistic decision to create a striking visual effect and convey the idea of his growth and power, and making it uniquely Zoro because of his green coloration of his hair and a lot of his other costuming. So just to summarize what we've just talked about in a more understandable way, the change in coloring of Zoro's Haki to green in the Wano arc could represent his growth, renewal, and maturation as a swordsman. And the color could also be associated with the nature and life energy, symbolizing his deep connection to his sword and his resilience as a warrior overall. And additionally, the green color could even represent an increase in the intensity and potency of his Haki, because during this arc, Zoro really has become powerful and is ready to face the much bigger and greater dangers that are going to come his way. Now, in the One Piece series, Zoro is one of the characters that is known for his skill with his sword and a tireless quest to become the greatest swordsman in the world. And throughout his journey, he's developed a technique called Demon Aura 9-Sword Style Ashura, which allows him to channel powerful Haki into his blades. With Zoro's special technique of Ashura, it is a state where he releases a demonic aura while using 9 swords. And in this state, his blades are surrounded by a golden glow, and his appearance changes, becoming much more intimidating and even quite sinister. It's believed and speculated that the change in golden coloring of Zoro's blades during the activation of Ashura technique might be related to the Conquerors Haki, also known as the color of the Supreme King. As I said earlier, Conquerors Haki is the rarest and most powerful form of Haki, and it allows the user to subdue or even knock down weaker enemies simply with their presence. And so with the use of this technique, along with his sword style, this has allowed Zoro to make his Haki become golden, demonstrating a more divine state of this character. During Zoro's fight against Kaido, who is one of the 4 emperors and is considered the strongest creature in the world, Zoro managed to awaken Conqueror's Haki. Now, it's possible that the use of Conqueror's Haki has a direct connection to the Ashura sword technique, and the change to golden coloration of Zoro's blades is simply a manifestation of that Haki for his attack. Also, as I said earlier, this golden color could be symbolic of the divine or even transcendent power associated with Conqueror's Haki, because this color is usually associated with elements such as nobility, royalty, and superior strength. So the change to the golden color might actually represent Zoro unleashing his full potential, his elevation to a level of power beyond the ordinary, as well as his connection to the royalty of great warriors. But it's still important to remember that the colors used in these visual representations of the character's powers still could vary in different adaptations of the anime, and may also have subjective interpretations from whoever is directing those episodes. So the change to the gold color of Zoro's blades could be an artistic choice to emphasize the intensity and importance of that moment, as well as convey the idea of an ultimate power finally being unleashed. And when we think about a character's evolution, Zoro's change to that golden color during the use of his Ashura sword style could also be related to his final awakening of Conqueror's Haki, where this golden color can symbolize his transcendent power and his connection to the royalty of great warriors, representing his peak level of strength and determination. So when you think about it, it's not something completely unusual to happen to any character. It's just an increase in his skills within the work of the One Piece anime. But as with Zoro and several other characters who have already had their aura and their Haki modified at certain times, it just further emphasizes this new power level that he's finally achieved. So as we head further into this final saga of One Piece, we've got to expect that there's going to be further changes in anime colors, and it's going to be more common because we still have plenty more growth to see from all of our characters. And just remember that these are colors chosen by artists and directors, and they simply serve to highlight or convey some specific feeling to us viewers, making the scene even more incredible, vibrant, and all the more impactful as we head towards that final epic conflict at the end of our saga. So with all that said, my friends, we'd now love to know what you think about it. What's your interpretation of these color changes? As we've seen in other places in the anime, we often see Conqueror's Haki, especially with Luffy, being a red color. We saw this come out during his Dressrosa fight against Doflamingo, but during his fight against Kaido, we too saw this golden color given to him when he learned how to focus his Conquerors Haki and turned it into the Ryo and Conquerors coating that finally allowed him to damage Kaido. So do you think the golden color is what we've kind of presented here in the video, or is it simply a stepping stone to an even greater level that we haven't even witnessed yet? Next, what are some other colors that you have observed, and where do you think it might portend later? We've seen different representations of things, even armament Haki, throughout our series, where during Baroque works, some of the individuals had a much darker, not black, but purple color, which was to show a different kind of color versus whomever they were fighting. I mean, even during the Whole Cake Island arc, when Luffy was facing off against Katakuri, each of their own armament Haki colors was different. So is it just meant to give us, the viewers, a little bit of a difference in who's hitting who, or do you think it actually represents something deeper? Let us know what you think in the comments below. So as we wrap up our video for the day, we'd like to thank you all so much for watching, especially those of you who've made it here to the very end. Be sure you comment on any themes or ideas that you'd like to see in future videos. And also, since you made it this far, hit that bell and hit that subscribe button before you head out to take on the rest of your day. I look forward to seeing you all in our next video. Let's keep sailing this giant sea together. Take care.